Hey, in this video, the killer didn't realize the cameras was rolling. So he sat right here and did something very stupid on camera.
Driver! Open the car door! Let me see your hands!
A criminal, murderous operation.
They hunted him, they stalked him, they found him, they targeted him, and they gunned him down.
And they brought overwhelming firepower easily and rapidly, establishing not fire superiority, but fire supremacy. We will drag this conspiracy out of the darkness of the early morning hours. We will drag it into this courtroom for everyone to see. The truth in this case, the truth will be crystal clear.
They surrounded
New
him.
subscriber alert.
What you just watched was a compilation of security footage recovered from the Home 2 Suites Hotel in Tampa, following the gruesome murder of Charles Jones, aka Julio Fulio. When the police arrived shortly after, they quickly located the vehicle Fulio was in, but it was too late. He had sustained multiple gunshot wounds to his legs, chest, and back, and had already succumbed to his injuries. Since the shooters had already fled the scene, the police immediately launched a homicide investigation. When reviewing the security footage leading up to the shooting, a black Chevy Impala entered the west side of the parking lot, parked around the corner from Fulio, and simply sat there. Then, a silver Chevy Cruze entered the parking lot and drove past Fulio's car, before turning around and driving past Fulio again in the opposite direction. They did this twice before exiting the parking lot. The shooters then hopped out of the Impala, bringing us right back to the footage you saw earlier. Following the shooting, the suspects hopped back into the Impala and drove off. After making this discovery, the detectives worked to construct a timeline of Fulio's movements. The timeline began 12 hours earlier, when Fulio posted this story to his Instagram, telling his friends to attend his birthday party at an Airbnb in Tampa. Dozens of people close to Fulio made the 3-hour drive from Jacksonville to Tampa to celebrate with him. The party got a little too wild, and the police shut it down, but the night wasn't over. They continued to a nearby club named Teasers, where Fulio was set to perform as part of his birthday celebrations. The Teasers surveillance camera caught the same Chevy Cruze parking at the back of the lot. 2 people exited the vehicle and walked up to the entrance of the building, but they turned around before getting too close. They then got back into the Chevy Cruze and exited the parking lot. Fulio performed for about 30 minutes, and when he and his friends exited Teasers, the black Impala was outside circling the parking lot. Fulio and his crew then headed to an after party at the Truth 18 nightclub. The black Impala followed closely behind, parking across the street to remain undetected. Fulio kept his millions of Instagram followers updated throughout the night, completely unaware that he was recording his final moments. While he was partying, the 2 suspects from the Chevy Cruze can be seen casually walking around the Truth 18 parking lot. After a long night, Fulio finally decided to wrap things up at around 4 a.m. He left the nightclub, got into the passenger seat of a Dodge Charger, and headed to the hotel. As we already know, the Chevy Cruze and the Impala showed up shortly after. Thankfully, with all of this high-definition footage, the detectives had a clear description of both vehicles, including their license plates. They didn't recognize the person who owned the Chevy Cruze, but they were familiar with the owner of the Impala, a woman named Damali Lyle. Damali's son, Sean Gaithright, was affiliated with a violent group from Jacksonville, known as ATK. ATK had an ongoing feud with Fulio's crew, known as 6 Block, since around 2017. Both of these groups made rap music, so the drama was often fueled.
You wanna know what's crazy? They can sit right here and try to chase somebody, kill them, but they don't be making no money. They be hella broke, and that's why they in jail right now, hella broke with no money. You can sit right here and chase somebody around the city, just say you did something, just try to have a name for yourself, so lame.
by songs that disrespected each other's crew. Foolio's songs were known to be especially disrespectful.
Foolio was
In one of
disrespectful,
his
though.
music videos, he went to the cemetery where ATK members were buried and danced on their graves. Needless to say, ATK was not a fan of Foolio, so between 2017 and 2024, they tried to kill him several times, but failed every attempt. Now that Foolio was actually dead, Sean Gaithright was suspect number 1. Using a highway security camera system known as Flock, the detectives tracked the Black Impala's movements from Jacksonville to Tampa before the murder, but it was never captured going back to Jacksonville. Instead, the Flock cameras captured it in Polk County, just outside of Tampa, where Sean's grandmother just so happened to live. The Impala was spotted in her driveway days later. According to Sean's grandma, Sean had told her that it was difficult to get his photography equipment in and out of the Impala, so he needed a bigger vehicle and asked to borrow her Toyota SUV. While this footage was being reviewed, a tan Toyota SUV was pulled over in Jacksonville for speeding, and Sean was the driver. He was told to step outside so they could seize his grandma's car. After patting him down, they conducted a quick search of the vehicle and hit the jackpot. There were Glock magazines, AR-15 rifle components, empty casings, and 9mm ammunition, all aligning with the ballistic evidence at the crime scene. But before they could charge Sean with murder, the evidence needed to be sent to the crime lab for forensic testing.
Yeah, I forgot this was the dummy who kept the shells. So imagine look, that because you're lame, I swear to God. He is so lame that he felt like he needed to have the shell so whenever he say he did something, he can have some proof behind it. Like, you're lame. All that is just proof that you did something. Oh yeah, I did that. Boy, these shells right here. Like, y'all are lame. Dirty as hell.
He was ultimately free to go, but he didn't escape the attention from the officers for long. The next day, a search warrant was executed on his home, and the detectives found an entire arsenal of more guns and ammo. In the kitchen, the sink was filled with shredded cardboard. When they laid the cardboard out, every single piece was firearm-related packaging. They also found 2 9mm casings that matched the ammunition in the SUV. These were collected and sent into the crime lab to be compared with the casings at the crime scene. During the search, the detectives noticed that Sean had several home security cameras. They obtained the footage from them and discovered that the day before the murder, another ATK member named Isaiah Chance, aka Gadaze, showed up at Sean's house. Sean then stepped outside and started clearing a bunch of photography gear from the trunk of his Impala. After about 8 minutes, Sean and Isaiah can be seen loading several bags into the Impala. These are the same bags that were found in his grandma's SUV when he was pulled over. Sean and Isaiah then left the residence in their respective vehicles. At one point, Isaiah returned momentarily to drop something off, and as he grabbed it from the passenger seat, he is seen holding a Glock and tucking it into his waistband. The next day, after the murder had taken place, an Uber can be seen dropping off Isaiah and 2 more people at Sean's house. One of these people was Rashad Murphy, aka Ghost, another affiliate of ATK. The other person was Alicia Andrews, who had been dating Isaiah on and off for a few years. The detectives now believed that it was Isaiah and Alicia who were stalking Foolio in the Chevy Cruze before the shooting. But this begs the question, if Isaiah and Alicia were in the Chevy Cruze back in Tampa, where is it now? Well, it wasn't long before the Flock system spotted the Chevy Cruze near a hotel all the way in Gwinnett County, Georgia. When an officer pulled into the hotel parking lot, the Chevy Cruze was parking in an empty spot. The officer quickly blocked them in so they couldn't drive away. He then got out of his vehicle and ordered the suspect to put his hands up and stay where he was. But instead of complying with the officer's orders, the suspect booked it. The officer pulled out his taser and chased him down, and once he had a clear shot, he took aim and fired. The suspect fell to the ground and backup arrived to help apprehend him. It was none other than Rashad Murphy. It turns out that the Chevy Cruze was actually owned by Rashad's sister-in-law, who lived out of state, so he likely provided that vehicle for the hit on Foolio and was on his way to return it. He was detained and thrown into the back of a police cruiser while the authorities seized the Chevy Cruze. However, the only consequence that came out of this encounter was a resisting arrest charge, and he was later released as the homicide investigation continued. When detectives looked inside the Chevy Cruze, they discovered Rashad's cell phone. On the device, the detectives found an Airbnb reservation from June 22nd to June 24th. the Airbnb was a 9-minute drive away from the crime scene. The Ring doorbell footage from this Airbnb confirmed that Isaiah, Alicia, Sean, and Rashad were all in Tampa at the time of the murder. The detectives then decided to look into the suspect's phone records, starting with Alicia. This cracked the case wide open. It turns out that she was the one who originally reached out to the person running the Airbnb through Instagram DMs. Also, her location data showed that her phone had been at every location Fulio was on the night of the murder, erasing any doubt that she was following him in the surveillance footage. They also found out that Alicia was sharing her location with Sean at each of the destinations. Other than the locations that they had followed Fulio, they had also gone to a McDonald's in Tampa hours before the murder. In the McDonald's surveillance footage, the Chevy Cruze can be seen at the drive-thru window, and a fifth suspect is in the driver's seat. It was Davion Murphy, Rashad's cousin, another affiliate of ATK. After discovering all of this evidence, the detectives arrested Alicia and brought her into the interrogation room for questioning.
Alright, so we're detectives from Tampa, okay? We do want to talk to you before we start our spiel, okay? I know that you were in a relationship with Isaiah Chance, okay? And I know he's probably already talked to you and, probably tried to tell you what to do or what to say, okay? But I want you to understand, all right? In this moment, all right, God isn't in this room and he can't do anything, to help you in this situation. You have to make that decision for yourself, you know what I mean? I think that, there's a lot of stuff that we have to show you that you would probably want to see, and I'm willing to be as open can be to show you everything that we have, because I want you to make an informed decision about your life and where it goes from here, okay? Is that you on footage?
Yeah.
Okay, can you tell us what's going on here?
Waiting out the door.
Okay, where are you at in this video?
I see.
Do you remember what town you were in?
Yes.
Okay. What's going down the channel?
It's all right.
That was it? She said forgive you?
Yeah.
Is this thing on the bottom?
No.
You don't know that? Do you know this?
I didn't meet him.
You never met him before.
So look, y'all, before we even just get through all of her, just y'all went and took a female on what was the why do y'all bring a female with y'all for one? I'm just want to know why they did that in general. Did they not think she was gonna tell? Did they think that the police weren't gonna find nothing? And this what happened when you got a bunch of broke people making up decisions. Cause y'all don't know nothing. Y'all don't know anything. You don't know the city. You don't even know. They didn't even know it was flock cameras. They didn't know to cover up the cameras at the Airbnb or none of that. So they all dumb. It's 5 of y'all, all y'all dumb?
The detectives knew Alicia was blatantly lying about going to Tampa with just Isaiah and his little brother, Sean. So they showed her the McDonald's drive-thru footage with Davion sitting in the driver's seat.
You remember going to McDonald's while you were in Tampa?
I was hungry.
You were hungry? Okay. So that's you in the car?
Yeah.
Okay. Who was driving the car at that time?
I just.
Was it the little brother that you were referring to? No? So you don't know this guy right here that's driving? Just kind of refresh your memory a little bit. I think back to McDonald's. That's the gentleman driving. You never met him before? So how did this gentleman join you guys at some point in the evening?
I didn't know. I just followed with him.
I don't know, did he come to the Airbnb? Did you guys pick this guy up somewhere?
I'm just on silence. I'm talking to him.
Alright, so at the end of the day, okay, if you weren't just on the sidelines, alright, you need to tell us that, right? You didn't necessarily, Isaiah's leading the activities, he's on the phone, he's telling you where to be, right? You're with him by his side, right? But obviously,
new subscriber
something big
alert.
happened that weekend in Tampa, right?
Despite showing her that they had tracked her every move while in Tampa, Alicia continued to play dumb. So the detectives got serious.
But you were at the hotel where Fulio was murdered at the exact same time that he was murdered. Okay. Are you you're familiar with Zay's Zay's old friend Tilly that was shot and killed.
The person the detective is referencing is Antonio Tilly, a deceased member of ATK. Back in October of 2023, someone had put up a $20,000 bounty on Tilly. A man named Jaquan Mills took up this offer, shooting and killing both Tilly and his Uber driver on Kylan Drive in Jacksonville. The reason the detective is bringing this up is that Jaquan had a girlfriend named Diamond Harris. Apparently, Tilly thought he was meeting Diamond on Kylan Drive for a date. In reality, Diamond was working with Jaquan to lure him into their trap.
Now, Diamond was not at the scene. All she did was send a few messages on the phone, okay? She's already been convicted 20 plus years. She's not getting out for decades, and she wasn't even at the scene where Tilly got killed. You understand what I'm saying to you? This is damning evidence. This is high definition footage, okay? You're there. You're there.
Alicia continued to stare nonchalantly at the detective as he tried to reason with her. But there was something they hadn't brought up yet that they believed would make her break. When they were going through Alicia's text messages, they learned that she was pregnant.
And that's exactly why you can't do nothing with females. For as sad as everything sound, them babies is gonna always get them to crack. 99.9.99999 to the million trillion disease, like gazillion, most really 100, gonna get them to crack every time. And plus, y'all didn't even really tell her what she was getting herself into. This thing, she probably in Fulio close friends. He probably like, oh, she look bad. Boom, boom. She was the one who had the IG everything. You can just tell she the female. She had all the IG stuff and all that. She got close. She got up in there. They kept her under wraps so he ain't know she was an op. None of that. That's how it went. But it ain't even just that. Like, y'all need to just be smarter. Y'all out here in gangs. I ain't even finna get started on being in a gang. How dumb you got to be to join a gang? Like, how lame you got to be? I need to be protected.
About being pregnant?
I lost the accident.
You like having a baby at some point?
No.
No? The charge on this is first-degree murder. The sentence is going to be life in prison. It becomes your nursing home. You don't have relationships anymore. You don't have a child. If you have a child in prison, it goes to somebody else, and you don't even get to hold your child. The moment my father and I walk out of this room, your life changes absolutely forever, and you can never, ever change your path. Don't miss this opportunity to save your life.
I know, y'all tell me I'm lying.
You don't want to live with this, okay? You don't sure shit don't want to live with this in a box the size of this room for 30 years. This is it. Red for 30 years.
No matter what the detective said, Alicia continued to deny any involvement and acted offended when the detective said she was lying. Despite the detectives talking big about Alicia being locked up forever, she was free to go for now while they waited for the crime lab results. Those results came in about a month after the shooting in July of 2024. It was determined that the weapons in the Toyota SUV were the same weapons fired at the crime scene, and the 9mm casings found at Sean's house came from the same gun that killed Julio Fulio. On July 27, 2024, police strategically planned an operation to arrest 3 of their suspects, Sean, Alicia, and Isaiah.
Driver! Open the car door! Let me see your hands! Step on out! Back up to the sound of my voice! Keep coming! Keep coming! Keep coming! Keep coming! Walk back to me!
Isaiah 10, this is the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. We have a warrant for your arrest.
Put your hands up! All right, slowly walk toward me. Let's go. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Stop. Stop. Turn around. Keep your hands up. Turn around.
New subscriber
Don't
alert.
reach for your waist. Put your hands behind your back. Stay there. Don't move. Keep walking. Keep walking. Now turn around. Put your hands behind your back.
These 3 suspects were transported to Hillsborough County and booked into jail. And at their arraignment hearings, they all pled not guilty. As for Rashad and Davion Murphy, police were unable to locate them, and they were considered fugitives of justice. They were eventually able to track Rashad down to an apartment complex of a woman he was seeing. They had a standoff for an hour, demanding Rashad exit the building, but after throwing tear gas into the apartment, Rashad finally surrendered, with his Bible in his hand and his Yorkie by his side.
He's compliant. Crawl towards me. Bro, come on. Keep crawling. Keep crawling. Crawl towards me.
He and his tiny dog were apprehended, escorted to the back of a cruiser, and taken to the county jail. Rashad also ended up pleading not guilty, and as legal proceedings continued for the suspects in custody, Davion was nowhere to be found. But eventually, in January of 2025, 6 months after Fulio's death, the police kicked down the door of an apartment in Jacksonville and successfully caught Davion, who smiled for the camera following his arrest. Just like everyone else, Davion pled not guilty. All 5 of Fulio's murder suspects were finally in custody and charged with premeditated first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder. But the work wasn't over.
Man, hold on. What is y'all net worth combined? What was y'all net worth combined? Because y'all wasn't going to get nothing but a little rap clout, a little gang clout. Oh, y'all got him. What you planned on being a photographer? What you was gonna start rapping? You was gonna make music? They probably already some rappers trying to make a name for themselves by killing one of the most disrespectful rappers. And now look at all y'all in jail, just broke. You ain't had no money before you did it. You ain't got no money now.
Degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder.
Dumb.
But the work wasn't over. Authorities continued to gather evidence throughout the legal proceedings in order to build a bulletproof case against each of the defendants. What makes this job easier is that members of ATK are extremely active on social media and have a tendency to brag about the crimes they commit. Just 20 minutes after Fulio was killed, Rashad Murphy posted laughing emojis to his Instagram. Later that day, he also posted a clip of football superstar Tom Brady and his coach Bill Belichick celebrating. This was around the same time that he used Sean's phone to text somebody saying, "I'm coming home, my thirst is quenched. Pop a bottle of Don Julio today, Murphy." Isaiah Chance joined in as well, posting a picture of Bill Belichick with a raising hands emoji. 4 hours after the homicide, another ATK member posted a story saying, "If it ain't no Don Julio, don't pass me no bottle." These are just some of the many posts made by ATK members disrespecting Fulio after his death. But the most flagrant celebration came from the leader of ATK himself, Youngin Ace. The same day that Fulio died, Ace posted a music video for a song called Do It, which his listeners interpret as a diss track about Fulio's death. He then posted another music video hours later called Game Over. On October 22nd, 2025, the first person to go to trial was Alicia Andrews.
These co-conspirators hatched this murderous plot not minutes, not hours, but days before this, with one common agreed upon goal: death, violence, and murder.
The prosecutors were still aiming for a first-degree murder conviction, but the jury also had the option to find her guilty of the lesser charge of manslaughter. Although Alicia wasn't one of the shooters, the prosecutors said that according to the law, as long as she intended for Fulio to be killed and helped in some way to make that happen, she should be found guilty of first-degree murder.
This attack hinged on the element of surprise. And to have that type of surprise, they had to act with a coordinated knowledge, and they needed intelligence. They needed real-time information. Where is he? What's his route? It was that intelligence, that real-time surveillance and communication, the locations and routes that were provided by this defendant and her boyfriend, Isaiah Chance.
To support their claim that Alicia was intentionally stalking Fulio and giving the shooters intel, they took the jury through all of the surveillance footage and digital evidence from her phone. The defense, however, said that none of this evidence proved that Alicia knew Fulio was going to be killed. They claimed that she was just tagging along with Isaiah and didn't ask any questions when all of his friends showed up.
On the weekend, Charles Jones was killed. Alicia Andrews was on a weekend trip with her boyfriend with only one agenda, to be with her boyfriend. Alicia Andrews is not in a gang. Alicia Andrews is not a part of the drill rap culture, nor the drill rap scene. You would not find DNA, fingerprints, no physical evidence whatsoever linking Alicia Andrews to this case.
They then tried to discredit the lead detective in this case, pointing out his lack of experience as a homicide detective.
We're here because of the perception of the facts of one man, Detective Juan Ramos. But ladies and gentlemen of the jury, perception is not reality. Detective Juan Ramos had only worked homicide for about 4 months when he got this case. His first time as a lead detective on the case, and he lands perhaps one of the biggest homicide cases that the Tampa Police Department has seen in a while. And we're going to talk about Alicia's reality.
The defense then went into Alicia's backstory, saying that she was in beauty school to become an esthetician and working as a substitute teacher on the side when she started dating Isaiah Chance. They claimed that she didn't know he was part of ATK. She just thought he was a rapper and got his stage name Gutta tattooed to her chest to support his music career. But apparently, as their relationship developed, Isaiah became abusive towards Alicia. According to the defense, if Alicia made Isaiah upset, she would face heavy consequences. Everything Alicia did leading up to the murder was due to Isaiah's controlling nature, and Alicia's only agenda was to go along with whatever he wanted to do. This included
so what was supposed to happen was they were supposed to kill him, get paid for it, get clout off of it, and she was supposed to be a part of that success. You not finna play with me. Nah, it ain't no, I was a victim and all this. You wasn't. You wanted to go, you wanted to get in the car, you wanted to be passenger princess, you want to do all that.
Reaching out to book the Airbnb, walking around outside of the clubs where Fulio was at, and letting Isaiah use her phone throughout the night.
When Isaiah Chance says, give me the phone, it's in her best interest to give him the phone. Everybody's coordinated, dressed in black, covered from head to toe, all of them except Alicia. No evidence whatsoever suggesting that Alicia Andrews was on some surveillance mission.
During the trial, 35 state witnesses were called to the stand, outlining all of the evidence we've presented to you in this video. Although it was clear that the prosecution had built a strong case against Alicia, the defense was able to successfully plant seeds of doubt into the jurors' minds. For example, when cross-examining lead detective Juan Ramos, they cornered him into admitting that there was no direct evidence that Alicia had any prior knowledge of the murder plan. They also pointed out that Alicia wasn't at Sean Gaithwright's house at the time that the weapons were being loaded into the Impala, and there was no evidence of her having an ongoing relationship with any of the shooters, just her boyfriend Isaiah. Additionally, they highlighted several moments during Alicia's police interview to dismantle the claim that she was deceiving anybody.
Talk about what you want to talk about. Don't want to talk about what you don't want to listen.
And he tells her, talk about what you want to talk about, and you don't have to talk about what you don't want to talk about. Is that correct?
That is what he said.
All right. When you asked Alicia Andrews who her boyfriend was and if it was Gutta, she says yes, right?
Her initial response there, yes, correct.
All right. So she's not trying to hide or pretend like she doesn't know who Gutta is. She answered your question truthfully.
At that moment, yes.
All right. Have you ever seen a text message in her phone where she's talking to Isaiah Chance and she calls him Gutta?
Her phone has the word Gutta in it many times.
Right, but when she's talking to him, does she call him Gutta in any text messages?
I can't recall the specific text messages where she sent to him calling him Gutta.
When you asked her who all went down to Tampa with you, she said, I don't know them people. Is that correct?
Something along those lines, yes, that's what I heard.
All right. Did she know those people before she met them when she went down there?
A very minimal, she spent a 3-hour car ride with Mr. Gaithwright on the way down to Tampa, and she admitted that she had been to his house before for some kind of gathering. So that was evidence that she knew Mr. Gaithwright. So that's one of the people that she said, or the only person she said she was there with.
Is there any evidence that she knew Davion Murphy?
No.
Or Rashad Murphy?
Not that I found.
And the knowledge that she had of Sean Gathright is one time she went to his house and got a plate of food and left.
That's from her statement.
Okay. At the time that he and Alicia Andrews would have been around each other, he had long hair. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And you showed her a picture of Sean Gathright with short hair.
That's the only photo I had.
Right.
In one final effort to convince the jury of their client's innocence, the defense called Alicia herself to the stand.
Did you know that Charles Jones was going to die on June 23rd of 2024?
No, I did not.
She went into detail about the grip Isaiah had on her due to his abusive tendencies.
In the beginning, he was good, I would say. And then he changed over time. I mean, once we got comfortable with each other, he started to be a little more controlling. Like as I got older and I would want to go out, he didn't like that. Like he would tell me what to post, what not to post, or if he didn't want me to take something down, or don't wear this, don't wear that.
Did Isaiah Chance ever put his hands on you?
Yes, back in like 2021, we were arguing over the phone. Like he wanted my phone and I wouldn't give it to him. And that was the first time he ever like snatched it and he ended up hitting me.
According to Alicia, Isaiah had even hit her just days before the murder because he got jealous about her talking to one of her guy friends.
He drove me to like a park and he stopped and he was like, "Let me see your phone." And I said no. But he ended up grabbing it. He was telling me to unlock it and I wouldn't unlock it. And that's when he repeatedly hit me to unlock the phone.
This incident left Alicia with her eyes bruised and her phone screen cracked.
So Isaiah, he was a lame too. Not only is you over here mad and doing all that, she should have left immediately, but she ain't innocent either. Yeah, she not telling the whole truth. Everything she said, do y'all really believe her? I'm finna keep it 100. Everything she says, she's not telling the whole truth. All that, oh, I'm scared, this and that. I'm saying straight through all that. But yeah, she not telling the whole truth. I feel like she just trying to play victim. She probably did get swung on the other day, but he saying something in that phone, and he lame enough to still be with you after that. So that goes show what kind of character he is. Like if a dude to stay with a female at she cheat, he'd do stuff to impress other men. I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
This is just one of the several examples the defense showcased of what would happen if Alicia questioned something Isaiah asked her to do. Alicia then gave her perspective of the trip to Tampa. Isaiah suggested that they go to Tampa as a way to make up for hitting her, and his little brother, Sean, would be tagging along. As they picked up more of Isaiah's friends along the way, Alicia didn't question who these people were or why they were picking them up in order to avoid any backlash from Isaiah. Since Isaiah was the only person she knew, she stuck to him the entire trip and let him use her phone whenever he asked.
You knew what you were there for. She the one who had the IG. She the one who had Fulio IG to be able to say, oh, he heard. You the one who had his IG. Man, stop playing. Why you? For a fact, all them couldn't get none of them locations.
At no point did he mention wanting to kill Julio Fulio, or that a plan to kill Fulio was already in motion. She said that she didn't understand a lot of his actions that night, like going to two different clubs just to walk away, or speeding through a red light on the way to a random hotel just to leave a few minutes later. And when she heard shots go off in the distance, she had no idea what had happened.
And again, at that point in time, did you know that anyone had been shot?
No.
Even though you heard gunshots, you didn't know that anyone had been actually shot?
No, they could have been shooting in the air or something.
All right. Did you know that it had anything to do with Isaiah Chance?
No.
Were you suspicious of anything at that point?
Yes.
Ultimately, it would be up to the jury to decide if they believed Alicia's story or not. But first, both sides presented their closing arguments.
They hunted him, they stalked him, they found him, they targeted him, and they gunned him down. She assisted. She did more than assist. She participated as part of that surveillance team, posing as just normal, everyday people just happening to be walking in a parking lot so that her boyfriend, Isaiah Chance, would not be detected. She is guilty of first-degree premeditated murder as a principal in this case, and she is guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree premeditated murder.
The sword of justice has the ability to save the innocent when used with care and responsibility. When used recklessly, it has the ability to harm the innocent. Alicia Andrews is innocent of every count, every lesser included, every crime that she is on trial for today. Perception is not reality.
After 3 hours of deliberations, the jury came back with a verdict.
We, the jury, find as follows as to count 1, the defendant is guilty of manslaughter, a lesser included offense. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 2, the defendant is not guilty.
The jury concluded that Alicia played a role in Fulio's death, but had no premeditated intent to kill him. Her sentencing was scheduled for December 8th, 2025, but has since been delayed after her defense team ousted Judge Michelle Cisco from presiding over her case. They claimed that she exhibited overt hostility towards the defense, repeatedly interrupting counsel, refusing sidebars, and visibly prompting the prosecution during witness examination. Her body language and tone during defense objections have reflected irritation, impatience, and at times even anger, while her treatment of the prosecution has remained differential and uncritical.
Okay, stop. Is there a question on the table? What's the question?
I'm waiting until, I'm publishing it to the jury, and I'm waiting until it gets to a part that I can ask a question.
Well, can we get to that part and then you ask the question?
Oh.
Judge, we played this entire interview yesterday for 1 hour and 22 minutes without a question. I'm just trying to get to a particular part. I want the jury to see what's happening now, and then I'm going to ask a question about it.
Great. Can we get to that part?
That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay, well, we're not just going to play it. Can we fast forward to the part? Miss Herrera, stop. Miss Herrera, stop. I didn't ask you to talk.
And that's why judges need to go get fired. Get y'all ass up and get off that bench. She's so lazy. And that's why people like her be getting off. Because look, I'll get y'all that. Okay, she knew he was gonna die. She knew he was gonna die. They gang members. She around all gang members. She know, and they all kill. Everybody around her kill. All them, that's not their first time killing people. Man, look. She around a whole bunch of gang members that's known for killing. She knew somebody. She knew he was gonna die. Y'all know that ATK don't like them. You know. It's ATK KTA, one of them. But y'all know Fulio people, the rapper that y'all killed, didn't mess with y'all at all. And you know what kind of time y'all was on. So, no, you not finna play with me. Don't she listen to music? That's what, man, let me shut up for the judge get some, defense get some ideas. So, you listen to music, right? So, if I go through your music, I ain't gonna find you listening. What? It ain't guilty by association. She is associated. Like, you are laying up with one of these gang members. If I'm in a gang and I got a female and my girlfriend or somebody and they laying up with me and we going out and doing stuff, she's a part of the gang now. If you are helping the gang, you are a part of the gang. Simple as that. If you can help us, you're a part of us.
I didn't know I had to ask. Yeah, you do. You do. Stop, Miss Herrera, you need to stop right now. Because you know what? You've been making faces throughout this entire trial. Yeah, you have been. Okay. And everything's been caught on video.
I know. And also that the court has caught and noticed all of the gestures and the tone, which was addressed yesterday for this date. But it's fine. No problem. I will do my best to.
Please do your best. Yeah, and your attitude is very disrespectful. I'll note for the record.
On January 29th, 2026, Judge Kimberly Fernandez was named the new judge on the case. The new date for Alicia's sentencing has yet to be decided. According to online sources, Alicia's co-defendants, Sean Gaithright, Isaiah Chance, Rashad Murphy, and Davion Murphy, are all scheduled to face their own murder trials in April of 2026. Despite many members of ATK claiming their feud with 6 Block is over, the disrespectful music and social media posts haven't stopped, and neither has the violence. There have already been several more murder victims in Jacksonville who are tied to these groups, including the death of Fizzle, another affiliate of ATK, and the death of 7-year-old Breon Allen Jr., a family member of an ATK member.
Duce just loved to have fun. He loved to go outside.
A happy kid that played tag with his cousin Angel.
Duce, I know him since I was since I was even born. Everybody loved you.
Our family is torn. Yeah, we lost a 7-year-old innocent child to senseless guns violence. So we may look all right, but we're not okay. We're gonna fight for justice until we take our last breath, because he did not deserve to die that way. God did not call him home. He was killed senseless.
Man, that should be crazy. No cap. That'd be crazy. And it's all because, it's really old girl fault. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. If y'all want to be honest, you want to blame somebody, here you go. And I'm finna tell you why. Because the other bums couldn't get his location. Because I'm gonna tell y'all something. Why would they bring her out of town if they didn't need her? If she wasn't the only one with the location, why would they bring her out of town? So now other kids and all, they getting shot as retaliation, right? You got men getting shot, you got kids getting shot. Because it's all one big stupid game. That's why I be saying the streets are broken. I don't even know why y'all still want to be in the streets. The shit is so broken and broke. Everybody in the streets try to look up to one person. Like, bruh, the streets, it ain't no money in the streets. The people from the street straight be thinking they have money and they don't. They don't. That's not no money. Y'all want to sit out here and tote a gun because that's the closest thing to make you feel like a straight boss in this world. That's the closest thing you can get to make you feel like a boss in this world, a gun. That's it. That y'all can't do nothing else but tote guns. That's it. That's all. And then be like, I'm a killer. How much money you got? I'm a killer. Oh, okay, you broke then. Oh, okay, you broke. Just like King Von them. They talking about all them murders and all them killers. Did you hear about King Von when he was this big time killer? No, because he was broke. He was broke. Man, you are broke. You was in the hood. You ain't ringing no bells for real. I'm gonna care about you. Yeah, that boy right here, he go crazy. He killed people, boy. Nobody don't care. This man had luckily he knew how to rap. The hell, like, do y'all not be hearing these interviews and listening to these rappers? A lot of these rappers who be like, man, this is the first time I ever had $5,000 at once. Like, bro, you 28. You hold on. This is the first time you 24. You ain't never touched $5,000 because you was in the streets too much. Yeah, boy, you was in the streets too much. Of course. Like, y'all don't be, man, this shit's stupid. I don't say fuck the streets for the reason everybody else do it. I done lived through the streets. I done been looking at games like, bro, I would never join y'all. You can't trust them. Y'all don't even trust each other. Y'all don't trust each other for real. Boy, you go to jail, boy, you gonna be shitting bricks thinking about what the next dude doing. Like, bro, I wonder that's you gonna be wondering. Cause you know you can't trust none of them. But for her to sit right here and be like, I ain't know what was gonna happen. So Lil Durk and NBA Youngboy is making music going back and forth, right? So what if they got closer, one of them got the drop on the other one and the female was involved, or they associates did it, female involved, what make it make sense, Make it make sense. Because females, it's always the females. If Fulio, man, if he would have went to the crib, not posted on IG or not even added everybody trying to be a normal person, he'd have been cool. But hey, this will come with it. Then it's consequences. It's still gonna be more and more going on. I ain't gonna lie. It's gonna start to die down. Why? Because them boys going broke. All them drill rappers and all that, y'all are going broke. Are y'all hurting? And I'm watching. Because one thing I learned how to do is this. I learned how to read some numbers. I learned how to read views. And I learned how to read when, hey, y'all ain't making as much money as y'all was. Nobody ain't listening to them songs no more. Motherfucker clicking off within 1 minute. Boy, you getting paid $3 per 1,000 views. $4. Nobody not listening to these songs no more. Shit, if you even getting that. And I'm keeping 100 with you. That's if you're getting that. Why they not bumping this music no more? Your highest paying stuff probably $10. But I don't care. Like, come on. The streets over with. The streets gone. Oh cap. The streets are over with. The streets is dead. There ain't none of that. Y'all in a losing battle.